Do you ever read a book that at the end there's twists and turns that should be exciting and interesting, but you just don't care? We are back for another Christian review of regular books, and today we are discussing Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. For those of you who haven't seen one of these videos before, here's how it's going to go down. First, I do my regular review, what you know and love to expect from a book review, star rating, and my own personal opinion. But then we get into my Christian review, and that's where I go over the basic pieces of a book that may or may not have a fellow believer or anyone wanting to read it. I give far more caveats and any other information you may need about these reviews at the video that's pinned to the top of the playlist. It also should be here somewhere, so you can click on over there. For now, let's go ahead and get into my regular review. Do you ever read a book that at the end there's twists and turns that should be exciting and interesting, but you just don't care? That's exactly how I felt about this book. I was so excited about this book. It was a book club book pick, so I thought it was going to be really fun and interesting. Also, the cover seemed interesting, and I hadn't read any Geneva Rose. I still haven't, except for this one book, so I wanted to give it a fair shot and see what I thought. Unfortunately, the twist fell flat, and I think that a lot of the book felt unnecessary or uninteresting. There were some characters in there that I wanted to root for, while most of the characters tended to be unlikable and not interesting. Ultimately, I rated the book 2.75 stars. I thought it had potential and just fell flat on the other side of that potential. I did like the family dynamics, the idea of kids coming together after the death of a loved one, and all of that followed through from there. A lot of people who read this book through the book club claimed that it was very easy to catch up with what was going to happen and to know who was at fault by the end of the book. I did not get that, but I do see how if I was more invested, I may have guessed it far earlier. If you want to see everything that I'm reading and rating in real time, you can do so by following me on Goodreads. You can also find me on Instagram, TikTok, and I do have my own YouTube channel, so you can see more of my day-to-day reading journey, plus just life stuff. You can find all of those links down below in the description box. Now let's go ahead and get into my Christian review. The first category I always love to touch on is smut or spice because it's popular, and there's nothing in this book. Really, it's following 3 siblings, so that's also a win. You're not really going to have any of the spice aspect. The second category is if there's any explicit language, and there are minor words here and there, but basically it's clean. The third category, because this is a thriller, is if there's any violence or gore, and there is minor violence near the end of the book. But other than that, it's a lot more suspense than it is horror with that like violence gore aspect. And finally, there is a lot of discussion around illicit drug use or addiction to substances. So if that's something that's hard for you to read, it's something that is definitely in there and good to know. Ultimately, I think this book is great for anyone ages 15 and up. There isn't anything major in this book that I think a teenager shouldn't be reading, and perhaps a teenager would find the twists far more twisty than I did. Before you go, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can stay up to date on all of these Christian reviews of regular books, plus me and my mom's podcast, The Journey We Share. Just so you know, when you do those things, you're helping us know that the content we're providing for you is content you want to continue to see. So it's a free way for you guys to help us know what you're wanting to see from us. And as always, we cannot wait until we see you on the next one.